Welcome to the 3BN channel. This is Nelly Atari, your narrator. This is where books come alive. How are you doing? I hope that you've been following the story. And I want us to do something today, right? Once you listen to this, I want you to drop in the comment section where you think the story is going to. Like, what do you think is running through any of the characters' minds? Let us know. Let's interact in the comment section. We have been looking at the book The Secret Lives of Baba Segi's Wives, and we are moving on to chapter 8 in this episode. I hope you kick back and listen. Let's see how the story unfolds. Chapter 8 is titled Trade. The blood that runs through the daughters that Iyatope brought into this home of mine is dirty. Her children are sickly. Not long after Bonali arrived, Iyatope sat in the sitting room looking for pity. She likes to sit around the house plaiting her daughter's hair like a beggar in the marketplace. Motu had a fever that morning and Baba Segi insisted that she stay at home. When the other girls heard that they would be separated from their sister, they sobbed and wept. The middle one, Afolake, strained and wriggled in her seat. Tope begged to stay at home so she could look after her sisters. I do not tolerate such rubbish, so I told the other two I would whip them all the way to their classrooms if they do not get into the bus. I don't understand this children of yours, I told Iyatope. The affection they have for each other has become unhealthy. They are like forsaken triplets lost in a forest, each unable to survive without the other. They want to eat from the same plate, wear the same hairstyle, speak with the same voice. Will they marry the same husband? After dropping the children at school, I returned home to find Iyatope in the sitting room. As I stepped onto the veranda outside, I heard Bolanle asking Iyatope if the child was better. Much better, thank you. I swatted her in a wet cloth for about 10 minutes. My children do not cope well without sleep. They scratch their heads all night. Look. As I entered, Iyatope was parting her daughter's hair with a wooden comb to reveal a line of scalp that was scabby in parts and freshly clawed in others. I have hair cream that is good for dandruff. Let me get you some, Bolanle suggested. Iyatope, why are you begging for hair cream? I asked. Are you not satisfied with what your husband gives you that you now have to scrunch? You should be ashamed of yourself. I offered, Bolanle said. I am the one you should come to when you are in need. In fact, I think Baba Segi should hear of this ingratitude. I did not ask for hair cream, so there is nothing to tell Baba Segi. Iyatope reached behind her daughter and produced a container with nothing more than a smidgen of cream in it. Iyatope shifted a fraction of an angle in her seat. It was clear she was no longer receptive to Brownlee's company or our conversation. She busied herself with her daughter's hair and said nothing. Brownlee noticed it and left the room. It is important that these wives know their place in this house. They must know what they can and cannot do. They must remember that I am the only one who can do business. Not that they have strong desire to. Iyafemi has sworn never to do another day's work in her life. And Iyatope doesn't have a head for trade. What am I saying? She doesn't have a head for reasoning. I had to use all my wisdom to force Baba Shegi's hand. After giving birth to Akin, my second child, a son for that matter, I knew the ache in Baba Shegi's balls would subside. That's when I made his head spin with worry. He started with sighing. I would lie next to him in bed and sigh. He didn't seem to take notice, so I'd sigh, sit up and shake my head hopelessly. I had to do this on several occasions before it finally occurred to Baba Segi that he may not be a perfect husband if his wife is saddened. Men are like that. They think they sit in the center and the world turns around them. When he inquired what was causing my distress, I told him it was nothing and blew my nose in my wrapper. After a few weeks of this, I took to crying. I thought thinking sad thoughts would bring tears to my eyes, but I found I couldn't evoke any. It was as if my mind had decided that my life had been without adversity. I had to use onions. My hands always smelled of them anyway. One night after Baba Shagi had climbed off me, I smeared my eyeballs with the onion juice. Baba Shagi couldn't take my sniveling. He sat up and turned on the light. What is that has treated your inside, my wife? There was both weariness and earnestness in his voice. It's nothing, my lord. The time was not exactly right. That is all you say. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Yet you weep like a mourner. It's nothing, I cried silently so I would not wake my children in that cot. Is it the house? I shook my head. Almost. Is it me? Is that something you want to do? My lord, my hands itch for work. Work? Are your hands not full with the children you are taking care of? I dropped to my knees and told him of my wish to have a small store where I could sell sweets wholesale, interact with other women, and learn of new recipes. The best household detergents of the market, better ways to please a husband. I slipped it in when I noticed each blink weighed down his eyelid longer than the one before. I also want to attend driving school. He raised both eyebrows and widened his eyes. I'll be able to take my children to daycare without them suffering in the heat like poverty-stricken orphans. Shutting his eyes tight, he stretched up his arms and yawned. He laid back down, slid his bottom down the bed, and covered himself with his sheet. When he had sufficiently burrowed into his pillow with the back of his head, he asked, "If I permit you to do these things, will a man be able to sleep in his own house?" Long and soundly, my lord, long and soundly. Within months, I informed him that wholesale sweets were no longer lucrative, and that a wise woman had advised me to try selling cement. A few weeks later, this same mysterious woman, who lived her life for her husband, advised me to extend my stall and build a proper shop. Before the year had run out, I was talking of a second shop, but only so I could be nearer to the children. Men are so simple, they will believe anything. "Does your friend approve of this?" Baba Segi asked as he undressed one night. "Which one?" I asked before thinking, but corrected myself quickly. "Oh, you mean my friend from the market? Did I not tell you that she died?" "Died?" "Yes, just like that. She just, slumped and died. The lucky woman has departed this world of sin and strife. This is very unfortunate though. Did you attend the funeral?" "You forget that I have 2 children and a husband to look after. She was a Muslim, so they buried her the day after. Let us pray the wind that carries her soul to heaven will be a gentle one, so that the journey will be without turbulence. That is how I started my business, and that's how I learned to drive. Men are like yam, you cut them how you like." One day, about 3 months after Bonali arrived, I was in the sitting room counting my money. I wouldn't usually be at home at this time of morning, but I wanted to rent a new shop space, and the previous owner demanded payments that afternoon. I had shops in most of the major markets, Mokola, Dugbe, Eleyele, Shongo, but I wanted to have one in Ojo too. Rather than rush to the bank and endure hours in the queues, I decided to take from the stash I had hid under my mattress at home to save time. The banknotes were old, crumpled, and dirty, but that has never bothered me. I sat in one of the armchairs and crammed a stool into the little small space between my knees. I handled money with great affection. I liked the feel of it on my palms, so I turned each note meticulously until I could see the man in all of them. I didn't know that our stray hen had brought friends until I heard them rattling down the corridor. I pulled up my skirt over the stool. They greeted me and I greeted them back. "I hope we will see you again soon," I said. I meant to address both visitors, but I couldn't stop my gaze from returning to Yemisi. As soon as the door closed behind them, I jumped out of my armchair and looked through a hole in my clenched fist so I could see Yemisi's perfect form. If only desire didn't always carry trouble on its back. Now is not the time, I told myself. There is a time for everything. And that is it. Chapter 8 is done, and I'm thinking this might be the shortest chapter yet, right? So that's how chapter 8 goes. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll move on to chapter 9 in the next episode. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe so you get to know when we release new chapters and you can follow the story so well. Yeah, so till next time, bye.